Okay, real important with the rib warmer is that you slip that first stitch because you want your edge to be really nice looking. And that's one of the things that Elizabeth taught in her books and Meg stresses in camp. So you slip that first stitch as if to knit, and then you knit into the next stitch. Oh, I'm taking the wrong color here. Alright, for demonstration purposes I've attached a different color so that you can see it better. Okay, so now you knit the next stitch. Believe it or not, I do know how to knit. Okay, so you knit the number of stitches that you're told to knit. Let's say we've knit now 29 of them. Now the way that they normally did the wrap was you would slip, after you've knit 29, you would slip the next stitch, put the yarn over, slip that stitch back on. Now what that does is when that yarn comes around, it's putting a lot of tension in between these two stitches. So you've got this big gaping hole. So you turn it around and there's that big hole showing up right there because the yarn is down in there putting tension on this loop. Okay, so but we'll do it. So then you knit the next stitch and you go back how many stitches you told, and you're going to wrap again because wraps always come in pairs. So if you wrap one side, you must go back and wrap the other side. So you're going to slip the stitch, bring it forward, slip the stitch back on the needle, turn it around, and knit back. Okay, so now I'm knitting back and I'm coming to the inevitable hole. There it is, nice and big for you. So what they tell you to do is go in there and pick up this green thread. You can barely see it, but basically what you want to do is get down in there. I take it off, slip it up, so now I've got the loop I was going to knit plus the yarn over, or the yarn wrap. Okay, put them back on the needle. So now they're both up there. Now when I go in through the hole and pick up my yarn and bring it through the loop, I've got both of them. That's going to close up this hole because there's no longer tension on that loop right there. I know it's real hard to see, but you'll see it when you're doing it. And then you need to knit at least a couple to make sure that you've got it closed up. So it's usually at least one or two. Okay, so now you're going to do a wrap again. Well, what I do instead is, because this is a purl on this side, because I'm doing the garter stitch, I bring my yarn forward, I go into the lower purl, bring it up, whoops, slip it onto my left needle. Now I've already got the two up there. There's no tension on this where the gaping hole would be. So now when I turn it around and I knit back, however many I have to knit back now, here you're going to catch where that hole was, but you picked it up so you don't have that tension anymore. So you really don't have the big hole. But like I said, I do mine a little bit different. Turn it around, you do another wrap unless you're done with your wraps. Sorry, gotta reset. Okay, and now you're going to knit back. Now I'm going to knit to the one that I did, or my way. And here they are. They're both on here. You can see the yellow and the green. The green is right there. I guess the green doesn't show up with the silver needle too good, but they're both there. So I'm going to knit into both of them, and then knit into the next one, and then I'm going to do a yarn wrap again. So I'm going to go bring my, because this is a garter stitch, I want it to come in like a purl. So I bring it in from the front, take it over, put it on the needle, and turn. Then knit back. Now we're coming to where the hole would have been if I hadn't done it my way. Let me just do a stitch or two and pull that open, and as you can see, there's no hole. You see colors, but there's no big gaping hole there. So that's the two methods I use. You can either do it their way, which is slip the stitch. Well, I guess you want to slip it the way it's presented. Slip it, put it back, turn it, and knit back. Or you can do what I do and actually bring the yarn into the, what have I got here? Okay, I did another one. Bring the yarn into the lower stitch, the stitch below, and like I said, this is garter. Normally if it was a knit stitch, then I would just go right into it like this, but it doesn't present itself correctly if I do it on a garter stitch. So for a garter stitch, I have to bring my working yarn to the front and purl it into the lower stitch and bring it up with the stitch that you would have wrapped, and then turn. Okay, I'm going to turn this off and see how it goes.